Kurt's wearing it. This Kiss, right? We're kissing?
No. Don't tell me.
Nope.
This is
Judas
Rockin'
Priest.
After Midnight,
Judas
right?
Priest.
Living on a roll. Rockin' After Midnight.
Living.
Rob Halford.
Living on a
Yes.
Judas?
Thank
This
you.
is Judas
Rockin'
Priest?
till the dawn, man.
I feel horrible about myself right now.
Wow.
I'm
You got to
so
back
sorry.
the show up a couple of
So
seconds
sorry.
here.
I'm so sorry. You want to restart that song?
I
Just
kinda
do it
do.
all over
Yeah,
again.
can you do
Start
that again?
taping again. I won't
Yeah.
say anything this time. I'm so sorry about that, Judas Priest fans all over. Oh, I love this Judas Priest song, dude. Thanks for playing it, Kurt.
It's awesome, man. Rob Halford. Back in the day, man.
Don't make me turn this show around.
Right now, you're reaching in the back seat trying to get a slap in there.
I'm sorry.
All right, let's talk some Uconn women's basketball tonight. They take on Xavier in Cincinnati. Seems like that's the center of the sports world.
It really
right now.
is right now. Good thing you're on the show.
Hey, God bless Damar Hamlin and his family. They've been through an awful lot, and the good news is, if you're just joining the show, that he's shown substantial improvement today, moving his extremities. He's able to reach out and hold his family's hands. Now, we don't know if he's off the ventilator or not, but he is communicating with the doctors. He has written notes to them, and they've talked to him. So neurologically intact basically means he's in control right now, and that means you can breathe on your own. You're eventually, if God willing, everything goes right, we'll make a recovery. We don't know how full it will be. It's too soon to tell. I know that they were talking about his lungs have to heal from a lot of the damage and loss of oxygen and things like that, but that's down the road. But a lot of good news, but he's still in critical condition and still in the ICU.
So UConn takes on Xavier on the road. No Caroline Ducharme. She'll still be in concussion protocol. They did get Aubrey Griffin back for Butler.
Which,
that
by
was
the
on
way,
Tuesday
she got the
night.
concussion in practice. Again. Did she run into Edwards again? I mean, anybody that's around that young lady seems to get...
Just practice. I mean, everybody has gotten hurt in practice.
Could they, stop with the pads and the full contact practices?
Gino wanted to just stop practice. He just wants to play games.
It might be safer.
Everybody's getting hurt in practice. But speaking of...
And on a serious note, we're worried about her health, so, hopefully Caroline Ducharme comes back soon.
Yeah, Lou Lopez Seneschal has really been picking it up. Well, I shouldn't say that. Bob corrected me on Tuesday, of course, because Lou's been doing it all year. And so true. She had 22 against Marquette. That's what made me think about the great scoring output. But, yes, he is right. She has been doing it all year. But she's really stepped it up here lately with no AZ.
But the woman who does the SNY broadcast that I watch and listen to, she also made the point that nobody that has come from another team has had the impact the first year that Lou Seneschal has had.
I love Aaliyah Edwards' game right now. All-American status. She's in my, I don't watch a lot of South Carolina hoops, and I don't watch a lot of Stanford, but when it comes to fives in women's basketball, she's my favorite center, and she just was so dominant against Butler, barely even had to play. I expect Aaliyah to dominate both sides, offensively and defensively. It's great having Dorka alongside Aaliyah. It's like a 1-2 punch. It really is, especially when it comes to rebounds. Dorka has just been just a killer on the boards. She's been a killer on the boards since she's come back from a pinky, a thumb
break.
Thumb break.
Yeah,
she's looked pretty good. And I don't know, again, if this keeps her inside more because she might be fearing, a long-distance shot with that thumb.
She's been bombing.
She's been shooting all right.
Which my wife's like, when she started doing it, I'm like, you watch every game. How do you not know she throws threes up all the time?
But her game is on the block, especially putbacks on the offensive end, getting offensive rebounds and then getting scores. But defensively, when those two ladies are in the game together, they just got such good nonverbal communication and help defense Down low, it's hard to score against Leah Edwards and Doka Juha, especially in the Big East. 7-7 is Xavier's overall record. They've yet to win a game in the Big East.
South Carolina's number 1, Stanford's number 2, Ohio State's number 3, Notre Dame 12. They're 12-1, number 4. Uconn is up to number 5 at 11-2, and still sitting a All-American team on the bench.
So true.
I mean, when I watched the last game, there were more girls in sweatsuits than girls in the uniform and eligible to play. And it's just unbelievable. I don't know if AZ Fudd, I don't know if Bob told you this, is she even active? She can do basketball stuff now from the doctors, but has she even been activated to be on the bench?
Listen, you don't need AZ against Butler. You really don't need AZ against Xavier. I would say Creighton, definitely 1 or 4. Other than that, I don't know. I mean, I think you could win the Big East without AZ Fudd. But you just like last year with Paige. AZ's coming back. Don't rush it when you don't need it. There's so many more minutes out there for AZ to get here in the near future. And this team, after the Big East Tournament Championship in Mohegan, is only judged upon one thing. Championships. Final Fours and championships. AZ's never won one. AZ's going to be back at the right time. And I don't think there's any reason to rush AZ coming back tonight or in the next week. We do have that game against South Carolina. Let's try to look at that. Where is that?
I don't know. It's in a while. I think it's February.
Oh, I got you right here. February 5th.
Yep.
February 5th.
Got that circled.
February 5th.
That one's ready.
That one at the XL Center, February 5th, Sunday night special. It's a whiteout. Wear white. That's what that means. Not going to be a snow. Maybe
By
be a
the way,
snow
you know
boot.
what? I didn't even bring this up. Okay, so what happened to us against Providence? We need to start doing a better job of it. Well, I don't care if it's Gamble, XL. We need to get crazy, loud and stupid.
Well, you were jealous of the Providence fans
The
last night.
Providence fans, Dom Amore sent out pictures on his Twitter. He couldn't even see the game.
Really?
Where he was sitting in the auxiliary press area.
Oh, Dom is not an auxiliary press. Dom is a primary press.
It might have been the press area where they were.
Wow.
But wherever they were seated, there were people standing in front of them. Those Providence fans stood the entire game and were loud and obnoxious and just stupid. And listen, Ed Cooley kept doing it and get loud. I mean, it's having the sixth man out there. I'm telling you, I've said this about the football program, but now we need it in the men's and the women's. I mean, women's have always, shown out and been amazing to support. But you can't just do it when they're ranked in the top 10. Doesn't matter. Any Big East opponent, any opponent that faces off against the men, it's time. It's time to bring out your other side and just make it uncomfortable for our opponents, because it felt through the television that it was uncomfortable for the players to be out there on the floor last night. That was the first time I actually saw them bothered by the loudness of the crowd.
3 points of just last night. One, so Cooley's allowed to pump up the crowd, not get a technical, but as soon as Hurley does it against he's kicked out of the game, huh? Just notice that right away. Number 2.
Double standard.
Providence doesn't have anything else. They don't have anything else, Dibs. We have a bowl football team to cheer for. Our women's basketball team wins national championships all the time. Heck, we've been hanging out at the ice bus, and we're looking for a national title with hockey. Providence got nothing but this basketball team. So you know that they're only going to show out for this one. 3, what's up with that court? It was sliding.
The Providence Bruins play there.
So the ice is under the court.
Same thing as XL. We're falling all over the place there.
Not like Providence. Last night, people were slipping all over the place.
I don't know. I watched a lot of those XL games. It's that stuff seeps through.
Something like with that, man. The condensation, especially when it's warm outside. You got a hockey rink underneath your gym. It's just wild that science happens,
Nice
but it
sweats.
does. It's a nice sweat.
A nice sweat.
It was a nice sweater on the court last night. Tough game to watch, man. Tough game to watch. I really do feel like this team scrambles for an answer when they're down 3 possessions. When it's a 7-point or plus game, They're scrambling for this 8-point three-pointer that does not exist on the court. By the way, we haven't talked about the big guy yet. Donovan Clingan.
He's amazing.
He really did have a good line last night. One thing I'll knock him, and he'll probably knock himself on this, 4 for 8 on free throws.
Yep.
He that's a big part of his game that he wants to improve a bunch. I have to explain to people, when you're 7 foot and you're shooting a basketball, the release is going to be right around 7'6" to 8 foot. Science class, ladies and gentlemen, the trajectory of a 7-footer shooting a free throw is a lot flatter of a trajectory than a 6-footer shooting a free throw. I say granny shot. Granny shot will get you a better trajectory.
What the hell's a granny shot?
Granny shot.
Underhand.
Double.
You're out of your mind.
You're too cool for it, Dibs. That's too cool talk.
You know what's cool? Points are cool.
Yeah.
Kareem was great at it. Wilt was not. Shaq was not.
Shaq was bad.
I've told you this before. It's on Donovan Clingan's mother's tombstone.
I know.
That foul shots will win you basketball games. He gets ticked at himself when he doesn't make those. But listen, I think that was the crowd. The crowd was obnoxious. And good for them. But again, when Providence comes here, we have to be more obnoxious than them. It's time to turn the tables on some of these obnoxious fans.
God bless the Berries, the whole family, all the Berries, the John Berries, the Brent Berries, the Bob
Rick
Berries, the Cheyenne Berries. I got to see Cheyenne Berry in College of Charleston when he was there. He ended up going to Florida.
Did he do the grandma stuff?
Did the granny shot. He averaged over 80% as a free throw shooter.
Wow.
It wasn't that long ago, Dibs, about 5 years ago. Wow. Don't be too cool for school clinging.
I'm not saying don't be too cool. I think he's practiced it one way. His mom showed him.
Has he ever practiced granny? Just try it. I'm just saying. Maybe after practice, give a little, see 10 for 10. If you go 10 for 10 on some granny, you might want to just adopt it. They did ask Shaq. Shaq was, I think it was Brent Berry.
Shaq wouldn't do it.
Shaq don't shoot granny shot. Nope. That's what his quote. Shaq don't shoot granny shot.
And another problem, too, is their hands are so big. I mean, Shaq, his hands were so big, it just looked like he was holding a softball. And I don't think it's as easy as people may think.
Well, on the plus side of Clingan's game last night, he had another one of those blocks without trying. Like literally standing there with his did not jump, just had his hands up. The shooter of Providence, I think it was Hopkins. I think it was that Hopkins guy. And like the only bad moment he had, tried to make a layup against Clingan, and Clingan blocks it out of bounds without like moving his hands, moving his fingers or anything. He's just a big tree that somebody shot into. That guy, I think he's a game changer, man. I don't want to
100%.
I'm still leaning on my preseason Big East Player of the Year, Adama Sanogo. I think Adama Sanogo, when he wants to be, is the best player in the conference. But when that 7-footer comes in, last night it felt like, why are we keeping this Kling Kong in the cage? 21 minutes again.
He's a monster.
4 for 4. Yep. The 4 for 8 free throws, a bunch of blocks, a bunch of rebounds. I think he had 11.
He had 11 rebounds, 4 blocks. He even stole that inbound pass that led to the Sanogo dunk.
Imagine a big Clingan in your face.
The wingspan was insane.
Trying to inbounds that thing.
Yep.
How did it go when they two big trees were out there together?
They were fantastic.
Yeah, I thought
they were getting a lot. At the point of that, they had, I think they had 17 points. This is in the first half. This is when they had a lot of their points. So to combine, they had like 17 points in the paint.
It did.
Most of it was those two.
It illustrated to me that 2 out of the 3 have to be in, and the other third is Andre Jackson. Just a matchups reason. Like seeing Caravan get handled by Hopkins last night told me that like we have 3 guys that can guard a serious big-bodied 5. And if one of them has 3 fouls in the first 5 minutes, you've got to put Adama and Clingan in at the same time. Or if not, you're going to have a matchup problem. Like, it's great that the guards are 90 feet, full court press. The defensive slides ability that Hurley's program brings is off the charts. But still, you can get pushed around as an Alex Caravan down on the block as a freshman. How many? He had to have been giving up 50 pounds. Had to have been giving up 50 pounds in that matchup. So,
well, I mean, Clingan He goes 265. I much would have rather see him in Hoskins' face. And not, I mean, it's tough, though, because he would have dragged, beyond the arc. The guy made some threes. I mean, he's got a nice touch.
Tough to shoot over that 7-footer, though.
Here was the biggest problem. Newton, Jackson, Calcaterra were 0 for 10 from 3.
Yeah.
Got to do better than that. We're 5 for 22. But listen.
I agree.
Still a great team. Still a great team.
They got everything they need.
Got a long way to go.
They got everything they need to be successful.
All right, Sports Menu is next. We'll be right back on the Rob Dibble Show with Ben Darnell on your afternoon drive. Thank you so much for keeping us on
I got
the
a
air.
big announcement coming up, too, by the way. You don't even know about it yet.
Kurt Kaplan on the ones and twos. We'll be right back.